Hey guys, in this video we're going to replace my Rinnai tankless water heater with this new Thermomate high efficiency condensing tankless water heater. First thing we want to do is I would like to remove this tankless heater. So first let's remove the gas line. So just remove the gas line and just want to make sure that you turn off all the lines first before you remove any of the connections. Next is I'm gonna have to cut this thing right after these two control valves right here so that I don't have to turn off my water main until I'm done working with my tankless water heater. Then we just need to remove some of these connections right here. And same thing right here. I guess I need to remove this part. I also need to remove this. And this one right here, and then take this thing out so I can pull this tank out from the wall. I'm gonna see if I can remove this too from here because I'm not gonna need this anymore. Okay, so the new Thermomate heater have two pipe design, so I won't be able to use this thing. Your tankless water heater is going to come up with this thank you note, so make sure you don't throw this away because behind that thank you note is your hanging guide. So you want to make sure that you keep this so you can use this to guide you in determining where to put your water heater. For me, I'm going to go ahead and line up the screw around here because that's where the stud is, okay? And I use my level and I'm just going to put my push pin right here. Okay, so first I'm just gonna drill a hole right here. Hopefully I get a stud. If not, I'll use the anchor. This one here, I don't need this anymore because this is for the thermostat for the Rinnai. So I don't need that anymore. Okay, so let's go ahead and put the tank in. Okay, so this is really secure now. This is not going anywhere. So if you're gonna do a side-by-side vent, the difference between the two is 2 3/4 inches. This is gonna go to my exhaust and this is going to the intake. Okay, so no matter what size you do, you want to make sure that the intake is gonna be 2 3/4 inches longer than the vent. Okay, so just want to do a quick test fitting right here. Of course, this is gonna be pointing towards the wall, but this is gonna be how it looks like outside the wall. And this is your air intake, and then this is the exhaust. So when you install it, it's gonna look like this, and then you're gonna put this thing on top. The pipe from the exhaust is the one that you are going to see from the outside wall. Okay, so I mark where the center of the holes are gonna be, and then I'm gonna be using this 3-inch hole saw. And I'm just gonna go drill right through here. Okay, so what I did is I drill a hole 5.5 inches apart. I used my level and I just put a marker on this side right here. So basically did it this way, make sure I'm leveled, and drill the hole right there. So now let's go ahead and make it bigger. So now that we have the holes, we can continue our project. Okay, so we just need to make some measurement here. This thing needs to be at least 1 1/4 inch out, and this one is 2 1/4 inch out from the wall. Okay, and by the way, you want to make sure that your intake is actually slanting downwards after the wall, and your exhaust needs to be slanting upwards after the wall. Okay, because you want the condensation to go back inside the tank and drain into the condensate drain hole. Okay, so right now I'm just gonna use this. You can see the bubble is higher on this end, which is good, and then this one here, you can see that the bubble is lower on this end right here. So that means that the intake is not gonna get any water in case if there's rain or something, and then the outtake will return the condensate if needed. Okay, so I just want to show you this. So what I did here is I've actually filled the gap with this great stuff gaps and crack filler, and After I sprayed it into the gap, I put this thing in so that the foam doesn't come out of this side, because I need this thing really flat so I can install the vent kit. So let's see how it looks like right now. Okay, so it looks really nice. There are still some open gap right there that I was not able to cover, but overall I like it. You can see there's like a little gap here that it's not able to cover, but that's fine, because my plan is to spread this roof leak repair so that I can have a really nice seal on this side. So I don't think it's really necessary, because even this one here doesn't even have any filler on the big gap before, and I never have any problem with water entering the house. So because I have this eave right here, so there's really small chance of water getting in here, but I fill it up anyway, and I'm gonna basically remove this part here and put back the rubber cover on this side. Alright, so I'm just gonna add this roof sealant right here, and I've also added some sealant right here. So basically I just did the sealants on the top so that in case any water accidentally goes in the top, that it will just drain back to the bottom. Okay, so I guess right now I'll just have to put this thing like this. Again, I just put the roof sealant from the side to the top, and I didn't put any roof sealant on the bottom because if there's any water that goes here, I wanted to be able to come out on this side right here. Okay, so I'm not really concerned how it looks like right now, because this thing's going to be covered with the front panel. Okay, so now we have our exhaust vent installed. So this thing looks a lot nicer compared to just having a snorkel going up and down from your wall. And if you want a neat install, I really recommend getting something like this. And for the indoor gap, I also use the same method. I use the big gap filler, and I put the cardboard there so that it doesn't bulge out. And then after that, I just use this Drydex joint compound, and once this thing dry out, that thing's going to turn white. Okay, so now we just need to install the water heater valve kit. On your left side is going to be the hot water, so that's going to be the red valve, and on the center is going to be your cold water. So I'm just going to remove the cover, and I'm going to be using this Teflon tape just to make sure that we got a nice seal. And since I have my pipe dope, I'm going to be using it as well. If you don't have a thread sealant, that's fine, just put more Teflon tape in it. Okay, then I'm just gonna go ahead and put this thing in. So basically once it gets tight, then you just turn it at least another quarter turn, and then you're done. Then I'll just wipe this thing off to make it clean. Now let's go ahead and do the cold part. And by the way, when you receive the tank, I was told that there's gonna be some water in it because it actually goes through their quality control process. So they actually pressurize it and put some water in it. Okay, so it's expected to have some water in your tank when you receive it. So when you receive something with water in it, that doesn't mean that you get a used product. Okay, so that's how they quality test the product. And I'm just gonna go ahead and put this thing in. Alright guys, so let's go ahead and prepare this valve kit first. So you notice I have this, but then I'm going to be using copper press. So I'm going to need this copper press 2 male adapter. So this is a 3/4 inch. Just remember, you can always get an adapter from one type of plumbing style to another. Okay, so like this one here, you're using copper press, and then you have this. You also have something for a quick connect to this. So you have all those things. Okay, put my pipe dope just to make sure I'm sealing them properly. So that's how you convert from your brass fitting with a female adapter to a pro press. So now I'm just gonna do the same thing on the hot side. Okay, so now we have the adapter on both the hot side and the cold side. So now we're ready to continue. Okay, so I'm just gonna cut it right here, and I'll be using my pipe cutter, and we'll do more cut later if needed. Okay. And then let's go ahead and make a cut right here also. Okay, so now I'm just gonna go do some dry fitting and then I'll get back to you. Okay, so I dry fitted everything. So this is the best I can do here to make this come out of here and go right here. So I have to make some elbow and some adjustment so that I can make it fit right here. Okay, and I also did something right here. And what I'm gonna do next is I'm just gonna go take some of this out and clamp some of this in my table, because it's going to be a lot easier instead of doing everything from here, because the position is going to be a little awkward. So I guess it's better to just pull this thing out and do it from my table. So like for this one right here, I only need to clamp this because this is going to be hard to put on. So I'm gonna do it, and I think this part right here as well. So I'm just gonna go put a line right here so that when I do a clamp, it's lined up properly when I put it back. Okay, and I just want to show you how I did it. Basically, you can do a single line, but what I did is doing like this so that I can make sure that the shape is aligned when I clamp them. Same thing as this one right here. Okay, and also right here, I'm just marking this thing so that I'm sure that I have 1 inch inside this. Okay, so because when you clamp this, it's gonna clamp it from this side and also from this side. So if you don't insert this properly, you're just gonna clamp it on one side, and the other side's not gonna have any clamp on. Okay, so before I put all the pipes together, let me just put back the gasket on this one. And basically this O-ring gasket is gonna go right here. And I don't think it's necessary to put any Teflon here or dope when you have the gasket already, but I'm just gonna do it anyway since I already have the tools. So I'm not gonna tighten it right now so I can move this around while I'm putting all the pipes here. And obviously I'm gonna be doing the same thing on this side as well. Okay, so we'll just put this thing in, and I just want to make sure that everything is seated properly, and now we can seal everything. Okay, so we have everything sealed here now. Now I just have to tighten this thing. Okay, so our water is on now. And hear it right here, so water can go outside. I haven't turned this on yet because I still have to install the gas and also install the condensate line. Right now we're just going to install the gas first. And if you're replacing your appliance, make sure that you buy a new gas line. Don't just reuse the old gas line that you have there, because the way this thing works is, see right here, you have a flare end here. So the way this thing works is basically when you tighten this thing, everything gets sealed on this end right here. So you don't want to reuse it, because if you reuse it, you might get a leak. So it's always advisable to just replace it. And also from this end where the flare is to your line, you don't want to put any Teflon tape here. You can put the sealant before this line right here, but on this side right here, you don't want to put anything. This thing's just gonna go straight here, and you just want to tighten it, and this end is going to seal this side right here. Okay, so before we install this right here, I'm gonna have to put this just to make sure there's no leak. Okay, so I did 5 rounds of the Teflon, and since I have this pipe dope, I'm just gonna put it on as well, just to make sure that you don't have any gaps on the thread once I put the head right here. Okay, so now we'll be able to install this to both ends. And again, you don't want to put any sealant here or any Teflon tape, so I'm just gonna go ahead and put it here. And you want to make sure to turn it first counterclockwise until you feel the groove sits in, and then after that you can turn it clockwise to tighten it in. Okay, and again, you want to do counterclockwise until it seats, and then you do clockwise to tighten it. Okay, now we're going to seal it by tightening it a little bit more. So now we should be good on the gas line. And to check your gas line, you want to do your hearing test, smell test, and visual test. Okay, so first thing is when you turn this thing on, just see if you can hear any hissing sound. That means that you have a leak in your gas. So right now I don't hear any hissing sound. Smell it also, and no smell, which is good. So now we're just gonna do the visual test. I'm gonna be using a soapy water, and basically you just wanna spray around it and make sure that you don't see any soap bubbling into the area. Okay, so you want to do all sides and make sure you don't see any bubbles forming. We're all good now, and our final step now is to install the condensate line. This high efficiency heater is going to have some condensation, and it's gonna come out of this pipe right here. This thing needs to go out somewhere. It's either you catch it with a bucket or you direct it into your drain or outside your house. You may also want to check with your city if you're gonna need a condensate neutralizer like this. As for my local city code, this is gonna be a requirement. Unfortunately, this neutralizer that I purchased is actually too big to fit on this one right here, so I'm gonna have to replace this with something better. And also, since you have to replace this every 6 months, I decided I'll just purchase something that will allow me to just refill the minerals inside. So that's gonna be a separate video. Make sure to click the subscribe button and click that notification bell so that you can get notified when I upload that. But for now, I'm just gonna direct the line into a bucket because I'm curious how much water can I actually collect, and also if I can use this to kill some weeds to the edge of my synthetic lawn. And if I can use this to prevent weeds from growing, then I'll probably create something that will allow me to bypass this whenever I need to collect a condensate water. Okay, so let's go ahead and plug it in and let's turn it on. So the default temperature is 125. We're gonna keep it that way. Okay, so now let's go ahead and test it out. I'm gonna release some water outside, and then we'll make sure that this thing is kicking on, okay? So I can hear it kick in. The flame animation is going, and you have the load. So, and I can feel the hot water coming out of this side right here. So we have a successful install, and if you find this video helpful to you, help my channel by clicking the like and the subscribe button, and thank you for watching.